Billie Eilish in complete meltdown after Nat Wolff drops major announcement. Fans are in absolute shock tonight after Billie Eilish was reportedly left in a state of complete emotional chaos following a major announcement from Nat Wolff that has the entire internet spiraling. What started as a quiet, low-key connection between two stars quickly turned into one of the most talked about celebrity situations online. And now, it looks like everything may have just changed in a single moment. Witnesses say Billie appeared visibly emotional, overwhelmed, and completely caught off guard as Nat made the kind of statement that no one, especially her, was prepared to hear. And if what insiders are saying is true, this could be the moment that changes everything between them. So what exactly did Nat Wolff say? Why are fans convinced Billie is heartbroken? And what happened behind the scenes just moments before everything fell apart? Stay tuned, because this story gets way more intense than anyone expected. Part 1, the connection that had everyone talking. For months now, fans have been watching Billie Eilish and Nat Wolff with growing curiosity. It started subtly. A few public sightings here. A few quiet interactions there. A little chemistry that seemed too obvious to ignore. At first, neither of them confirmed anything. And honestly, that only made the speculation worse. Because when two people who already carry that kind of mystery, intensity, and emotional depth start appearing in the same orbit, people notice. And Billie, as we all know, has always been someone fans feel deeply protective of. She's not just another celebrity. She's someone people feel they've grown up with. Someone who has shared vulnerability, pain, healing, confusion, and growth with the world in a way very few stars ever do. So the second fans began sensing that there might be something real between her and Nat, the attention became impossible to avoid. Every glance became a headline. Every appearance became proof. Every silence became suspicious. And somewhere in the middle of all that pressure, a very private situation may have started becoming way too public. Part 2, Billie's emotional state before the announcement. According to people close to the situation, Billie had reportedly been in a deeply emotional space leading up to this shocking moment. Not necessarily because something was already wrong, but because things were starting to feel serious. And when Billie gets serious about someone, emotionally, creatively, mentally, it doesn't happen halfway. She feels things deeply. That's part of what makes her who she is. But it also means that when uncertainty enters the picture, it can hit harder than it does for most people. Sources claim Billie had been trying to keep things calm and private, away from the noise, away from the cameras, away from the endless online commentary. But behind closed doors, there may have been bigger conversations happening. Conversations about where things were going. Conversations about timing. Conversations about the future. And maybe even conversations about what they meant to each other when nobody else was around. Which is exactly why what happened next felt so devastating. Because if the rumors are true, Billie wasn't just surprised by Nat's announcement. She may have been blindsided by it. Part 3, the moment Nat Wolff dropped the announcement. Now let's talk about the moment everyone is obsessing over. Because this is where everything changed. According to online reports and fan chatter, Nat Wolff allegedly made a major personal announcement that instantly sent shockwaves through Billie's fanbase. And no, this wasn't some tiny comment people are overanalyzing. This was the kind of announcement that hits like a punch to the chest when you're emotionally invested in someone. The kind of thing that can completely shift the energy between two people in seconds. Some fans believe Nat's words strongly hinted at a major life decision, one that may not have included Billie in the way she expected. Others think he may have publicly addressed his future in a way that left absolutely no room for confusion. And if Billie truly heard this in real time, just like everyone else, that would explain why insiders are saying she looked completely shaken. Because imagine building trust with someone. Imagining where things might go. Feeling emotionally safe enough to let your walls down. Only to hear them say something publicly that makes you realize they may be on a totally different page. That kind of pain doesn't show up quietly. And according to those watching closely, Billie couldn't hide it. Part 4, she looked completely crushed. Fans online were quick to point out what they described as a visible shift in Billie's energy almost immediately after the announcement. And if there's one thing Billie is known for, it's authenticity. She's never been someone who can easily fake being okay when she's not. When she's happy, you feel it. When she's guarded, you can see it. And when she's hurt, it shows in a way that's impossible to ignore. One fan wrote, "You can literally see the heartbreak in her face." Another said, "That wasn't just shock. She looked crushed." And honestly, that's what made this moment hit even harder. Because this wasn't just internet gossip anymore. This felt personal. Real. Messy. Human. People weren't just reacting to the announcement itself. They were reacting to Billie's apparent emotional response to it. And once fans sensed that she might be hurting, everything escalated. Suddenly social media was flooded with theories. People started replaying older interviews, looking back at old interactions, reanalyzing clips, trying to figure out when things started going wrong. And the deeper people looked, the more heartbreaking the story started to feel. Part 5, were there warning signs? Here's where things get even more intense. Because after the announcement, fans immediately began asking one big question. Were there warning signs all along? And according to some internet detectives, maybe there were. A few people pointed out that Billie had seemed more withdrawn recently. A little quieter. A little heavier emotionally. Nothing dramatic on the surface. But enough for fans to now wonder whether she may have already sensed something was off. Because sometimes the most painful moments aren't the ones that come out of nowhere. Sometimes they're the ones your heart quietly tries to prepare you for. Even when your mind doesn't want to believe it. And if Billie had been holding on to hope, even a small amount, that things between her and Nat were moving in a meaningful direction. Then hearing a major announcement that challenged that hope would have been devastating. Not because she's weak. Not because she can't handle the truth. But because disappointment always hits differently when it comes from someone you trusted. And that's what makes this whole thing feel so much deeper than just celebrity gossip. This isn't just about headlines. This is about emotional investment. About vulnerability. About the painful space between what someone says, and what you thought they meant. Part 6, Billie's meltdown behind the scenes. Now let's talk about what sources are describing as Billie's complete meltdown behind the scenes. Because according to whispers from people allegedly close to the situation, the emotional fallout wasn't just visible publicly.